actually not that bad. The best matchup we got for OyA is versus Terran. So look, he's already playing to his strengths, to put it that way. For TerrOr, I mean, look, he's just got stats on stats for everything. It's impossible to keep this guy out of the top 8, but it's not impossible to keep him out of the top 4. And I mean, when you look at that round of 16 finish last season for TerrOr, you really got to know that he's trying to make it back to form, and he's already gotten back there in the quarterfinals. But can he go to the semifinals? I guess we've never seen him be eliminated in the semifinals. So if he makes it there, that means it's a free trip to Grands, right? Right?
I guess so.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So maybe this is finally TerrOr's breakout here to get rid of the round of 8 curse, where he's going to be going up against TerrOr or up against OyA. Now, I was looking at chat a few minutes ago. Somebody told me that TerrOr's like 2490 MMR this morning. Now, from experience, 2500 MMR compared to 2300 MMR, huge, massive difference. Yeah. So maybe TerrOr has upped his gameplay in the recent weeks or so. So we'll have to see what he's going to bring to the table. TerrOr is one of those players that you never know what he's going to bring. So I'm excited for this matchup.
The map is going to be Neo Sylphid. The last time these players played, Neo Sylphid was actually the one game that OyA won against TerrOr. So we'll see if he can do it again as we get into our first game of the final match of the round of 8. We're still waiting to see if Mr. TerrOr is around and ready to go. Because they're playing in top versus bottom, that means that TerrOr gets to pick his color magenta. So let's get into it and get into game number 1. All right, here we go in the bottom left hand corner of the map. Sylphid in the Protoss colors, playing the red race. This is our Swedish Protoss player, OyA.
And in the bottom right, in the blue, representing Peru, it is TerrOr. So TerrOr is one of those Terrans that, you know, is not just Flash-esque where he's just going to 2-1 every single time. He will 6-fact, he will 5-fact, he will 1-base starport, he will do, I've seen him go 1-base Marine Medic versus Protoss. He'll do all types of stuff versus OyA, but OyA on the same coin does all that too. He'll 1-base Reaver you, he'll proxy in the center of the map, he'll 12 Nexus, he'll 7-gate you. Like, both these players are the epitome of aggro players for their respective races. OyA is actually Artosis's nightmare. Like, he would absolutely hate playing versus this guy. So this is going to be really interesting to see how two aggressive styles collide here. I'm curious what OyA's opener is going to be, because we saw him play standard in all the PvPs, and then he got frisky with models with the proxy gate. But what's his style versus PvT? Because I don't think we've seen it just yet.
Yeah, so far in BSL Season 9, let's see, we've had OyA, who played in a group with Casper, and I don't, OyA did 2-0 Casper, but obviously Casper plays much, much different than TerrOr does. So not really a big indication of what's going to happen here. For TerrOr, he actually was in a group with Crossy, Dandy, and Madinho, and that was actually really surprising because Dandy was eliminated super quickly, and then TerrOr was able to overcome Crossy twice, and then played a TBT. So we haven't really seen too much of TerrOr's TVP this season. And so I'm excited. I mean, there's a lot of things that can go right and wrong just because they're kind of volatile players. But I mean, if we just think about the most standard possible way that this matchup looks, it's mech versus Protoss, but how many factories do we build? How aggressive is TerrOr willing to go? And I guess on that side, you know, how aggressive is OyA going to go, especially if he can take care of this SCV early on?
Well, it's 12 gas opener for TerrOr, and this is Zealot pressure by OyA. I was watching the minerals go slowly closer and closer to 100 minerals. As soon as it got to 100, you knew it was going to be a Zealot, because that's just OyA style. He's always in your face trying to make something happen. Yeah. And that's what we see now. What's TerrOr's response going to be? Instantly puts back onto gas there, or actually, I guess he hasn't mined 100 gas just yet. He's going to try and get a bunker up. Now, for those of you that have watched Artosis stream, This Zealot does not care about 2 Marines in a bunker. It is 100% running by. If it does not run by, I would be very surprised. TerrOr is going to have to get out a 3rd Marine, may even build a 4th Marine. Now, 3 Marines, it is a bit risky to run past this, but I wouldn't be surprised if OyA goes for it.
Yeah, now the SCV is a huge hero here. If he is able to body block the Zealot from running in, then it's just a tragedy. You lose health on the Zealot. It's basically worthless. Not really, but you get the point. And actually, OyA doesn't try to run by, so maybe he's reformed. We don't know. This is actually a really cool scout to get in for with that SCV, kind of keeping it in there before being ushered out by the Dragoon. Probe returning, and what are we going for? Pushing this SCV out means that TerrOr's not going to know if there's a Nexus or not.
Yeah, SCV doesn't confirm anything. The Zealot actually gets pushed back by Marines. Now, versus someone like TerrOr, it's very important to know what this is. Is it a second fact? Is it a starport? The Zealot pushed in earlier and didn't see a command center, but it was way too fast for it to actually be a command center at this point. So both players don't really know what they're going for. Marine is scouting around. I actually like this versus someone like OyA, even though he's gonna lose this Marine, to confirm that there's no proxy Citadel or proxy gates for DT or proxy Reaver. That's worth, and he even saves the Marine. That's even better. But both players are just going standard play Nexus. More than likely, we're going to see the 420 Robo for OyA. That's pretty much standard. But these days on ladder, I see a lot of 2-base Arbiter play, so we may actually see a fast Citadel.
Yeah, I would actually really like the Arbiter play, because every once in a while you'll see TerrOr. He goes for like a big move out, but doesn't necessarily manage to split up his tanks. So can make it vulnerable against stasis. Obviously, if you go recall, then that can be terrifying too. But for now, everything looks pretty normal. We just got this kind of handshake at the front door where the Dragoons use their range advantage to hurt the bunker. It gets repaired. The siege tank eventually will get siege mode. Oh no, he tried to go up for a couple of cheeky shots. That's actually quite a bit of damage on all those Dragoon shields.
Yeah, and it looks like he really wants to get it because he postured in like he's going to go for it again. But I think TerrOr's actually rushed siege mode here because his tank is, it was so slow that it has got to be siege mode. But it's out of range.
Yeah, he sieged it out of range.
Yeah, now look at this. Starport follow-up from TerrOr. This is what I'm talking about. He's not just going to sit here and build armory and go 2-1 and let you have 8 bases of Protoss. He will put pressure back onto you. Now versus someone like OyA who's just going to consistently rally across the map, that can come back to bite OyA if vultures get into his main. Sylphid is one of the maps that has huge area for potential drops. Now back in OyA's main, we did see Robos done. We did see second gate. You know, the standard these days is to go Reaver, but we may see an Observer. But since it is OyA, it's pretty much guaranteed it's got to be Reaver, right?
Yeah, OyA is a big Reaver believer. And I think he deserves to be. He's great at Reaver control, but more specifically, he's just always finds a way to really thread the needle and get in for massive damage. And there it is, the support bay on the way. And we're going to get a chance to see if his Reaver control is up to par here. Because on the other side, TerrOr, you know, it's not like he's going for one of these big, heavy Goliath strategies, right? Where he's going to be able to push back the shuttle with impunity. But what's coming out of the starport here?
So dropship coming for TerrOr. Now, what's great for both of these players here is there's going to be vulture harass for TerrOr, and there's no observer. So OyA has no idea this is coming. He skipped it to get the Reaver. But that's okay, because he's going to have such a fast Reaver that he's going to be able to put on counter attack into TerrOr's base. And guess what, Rapid? Vultures aren't very good versus Reavers. You know? So unless we get a mine hit, you know, both players are going to be slugging it out, just like what we saw in True Touch versus DeWalt. Lings and Zealots dealing crippling amounts of damage.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than watching a Protoss player drop a Reaver on a mine. Well, for other Protoss players. I would say there's nothing better than that, but let's see if this dropship can get in here. It's going to hit before the Reaver leaves, so maybe you can just bring it in as emergency damage control. Double Vulture Siege Tank drop in the back. Let's see if we can get some juicy splash damage on there. 2 kills off the probe line, and even though the Vultures aren't actually getting a lot of probe kills, they are laying mines, which makes it so difficult to move these Dragoons through the mineral line. Oh my god, he kills all 3 with a mine! No, it's such a tragedy. Oh my god, they won't tell you the tragedy of Darth OyA, the microless. Damn,
Yeah,
Insane play.
Yeah, but now it's OyA's time to get some counter damage done with this Reaver play. There's a turn, but he's going right over it. What? He's going to lose his shuttle.
Is this the new?
Oh, no, he doesn't. He barely keeps it alive.
He barely saves it. He's getting some crazy Scarab hits off. This one, does it dud? It does not. Another 3 down. It pops the Marines. He kills the shuttle with the last second Marine shot. Is this what Protoss players are doing nowadays, Nyokin?
Well, that was a bit of a disaster there for OyA, but at least he killed a decent amount of SCVs. But that drop is still there.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think the Vultures have any mines. So going in here, I think is kind of, we're just trying to get as many probes as possible before the tank goes down. Oh no, they can't group up like that.
Oh God, oh God, oh God. How 8 kills on that siege tank. Even more coming through. Oh, disgusting amounts of damage. The dropship even going to escape to live to drop another day.
Yeah, so Terror evens up the probe to SCV kill count right there, but OyA still up 10 supply, but to lose a Reaver and shuttle, that's very expensive. Sure, Terror lost an expensive unit in the tank. He also was forced to build a race, so that's really a useless unit for him. Now, the Observer came in, instantly died, but he did see factories going down, and there's no reason for Terror to be building factories at this point. So OyA should know that this is a timing. So I would like to see Nexus follow up here. No more like tech, just go straight Citadel. Make sure that Terror cannot bust us with a 5 or 6 fact tank push. And then I think OyA is actually going to be in a good position, but he needs to get some econ to back up this.
Pick this off. One more shot. One more shot. Oh, Dragoons suck. Dropship gets out. Oh, why is the dropship the only drop unit that doesn't get a speed upgrade?
Well, it used to, I think, or did it get nerfed? Or maybe it did get a boost. I can't remember.
I think its base speed used to be lower, and then they buffed the base speed instead of giving it an upgrade.
Yeah, I think that's correct. So we do have 6 fat coming in for Terror, and he scans and sees that this guy's got 2 gate. This is the dream scenario right now. And OyA's misreading the situation because he's going into tech with Templar Archive. So Storm's great. The problem is that this attack is happening in like the next 2 minutes. We're not going to have any units. 2 gate, I mean, Protoss is strong, but if 2 gate beats a 6 fact, okay, we definitely got to get David Kim on the phone because that's ridiculous.
He's like, I don't work at this company or on this game ever, but okay, I'll see what I can do. 3 more gates on the way, but those will be done by the time this hits. The Vulture's busting by trying to stop the retreat path with a couple of mines. We all know what mines do against Dragoon, guys. Oof, sacks the Zealot to take it out. There's more mines in the way. So this retreat path is not going to be easy, and they will scout the shuttle even with speed heading across the map.
Yeah, mines are great. They don't even have to hit anything. They give you vision, so he sees the shuttle coming in. It also shows him that the shuttle has shuttle speed. That's an expensive upgrade. Oh, double Reaver. So actually, OyA, maybe he did read the situation. Double Reaver is going to deal tons and tons of damage, be able to deny this push for a long time, but he's got to be careful because if Terror scans, sees that these Reavers are sitting right here, he can just siege preemptively. There he goes. Oh, he moved down to 3
Oh,
tanks.
God. Oh, my God. Sickest Scarab shot. He kills 2 tanks right off the bat. How are you going to move out against that?
It's hard. And this is actually going to delay the push quite a while. And because Terror opened with Starport, sure, he got a lot of damage done. That really does slow down the timing quite a bit. So this is really good follow-up from OyA. I was a bit worried seeing 2 gate. I didn't realize he had already made 2 Reavers. He's got his 3rd Nexus up. He's got Templar Archive, which could have been a disaster if this was moving out faster. But now that it's been slowed down, he may actually have Storm in time. Here comes another drop, though. This is probably going to be Vultures, but Goons are moving into position.
Another drop here. Let's see. This is just Vultures. This looks like it. Forces a pull here. I think he thought that was going to be way scarier than it actually was. So a full pull for a Vulture. I don't know if that's necessarily justified.
Well, Terror's on a clock. He's down 30 supply, which is okay, but he's going to get...
God.
No,
another
tanks.
perfect shot from these Reavers. He picks them up, saves the shuttle Reavers, runs away. But there's the Wraith here, and actually this Wraith is a big deal.
No.
Oh, the Mind Drag again. He gets one more shot off, another nice Scarab. Doesn't deal some damage. That's a lot to lose when the push is coming in.
Now that's a big loss, but Storm is done. No, he's... Okay. he is going to send all of his units from the bottom to the natural. I thought he forgot about this army, and he had a non-existent army before that. Now, he did soften up a lot of the Goliaths, but vultures come back in for a drop instantly. Goons are getting kind of glitched out here, but I don't think OyA has... Oh, the storms!
Oh my god, insanity storms, double, triple storms on the back line of the tanks. There's still more tanks sieged up, though, and the Zealots are running out, so that was a lot, once again, to invest in that fight, to lose everything in your main and not kill off these tanks.
Yeah, but the Vulture has 8 kills on the probes, force a full probe transfer to the natural cannons, come up just a little bit too late. TerrOr is pushing, but he only has 3 tanks left. I don't know.
Dude, it's the minefield buffering quite a bit because there's no observer with this army. I think it died earlier, so... Oh, there it is. It's coming in from behind. He's actually just going to bulldoze through, try to go for a mine drag. Actually, no. Does not get the mine drag. Does not get the Zealots on top of the tanks. It's just Dragoons versus minded tanks. Oh my god. I thought that was going to drag down. More vultures coming in for reinforcements. If he can pick up these tanks or drag into the vultures, maybe it'll be worth it, but he just runs out of units.
Yep, supplies are now even. That's okay for Terran now. And those goons are extremely weak, so they can probably just get one-shotted by tanks. Unfortunately, TerrOr doesn't have that many tanks left. He's got like 1 or 2 just left over. He does have +1 weapon kicking in. Now versus ground army, +1 weapon is okay, but I think TerrOr might just barely have enough to push through right now. We also lost all of our Templars, so there's no more Storm available.
Yeah, this is total gateway man against Terran, which is not a recipe for success. Usually, maybe this time's the charm. We're trying to use this shuttle to drag in some mines or I don't know, something, but nothing. I mean, look, the tank count is dismally low though, so I mean, at least that has to make OyA feel okay.
Yeah, the thing is TerrOr, he's got decent supply. He just doesn't have any tanks. And when you have 1 tank, you're never feeling confident to push in. He's gonna, I think actually, OyA is in a really good position. He's kept the tanks back for now. There is a vessel there, so D-Matrix could be very impactful. But if we can get out some, like 2 rounds of Zealots, I'm loving his position. Also, if we can get out 1 or 2 storms, would be amazing. Double shuttle, I'm always weary about double shuttle because that's expensive. And
it's also hard to use in stressful situations. Like Mini, he's okay with this. Your average Protoss player, probably not. Wait, are we just... Wow, TerrOr really pulling back? Yeah. Is that just because of the low tank count, or did he see this coming?
Yeah, I think he saw it coming. Low tank count. He had no Goliaths there to actually pick off any of the shuttles. Ooh, he catches a tank. This is great from OyA. He's going to pick off another tank, maybe. It's scrambling to get back to the rest of the army.
Trying to drop off to block the tank. He gets it. Another couple tank kills. There's only 3 in the army.
Big hit from that mine, damaging a lot of the goons there. But OyA has good econ. He's got 3 bases. TerrOr, I forgot, with the armory and the vessel already out, that means that he started +2 weapons, so we don't know how far along his actual +2 power spike is. But with no arbor, with no AoE, this is going to be a very, very strong attack whenever he goes up for a follow-up. He's got his 3rd command center already built. He's laying it down pretty soon. So this 6 fact that I thought was all in, all of a sudden he's got a 4th command center coming in. That's going to match the Nexus timing. This is still an okay position for TerrOr.
Oh man, this game is so back and forth and I love it. This is just setting the tone for the rest of the series. Dropping off, gonna stop this base from coming up. Easy way to cancel it. So some hashtag value there for OyA. You can just pick up, run back away, and rip the observer. But he's gonna get out of here.
So the 4th base does get denied, which is very good for OyA because he definitely needs to get up storm. I think he might lose these. So he doesn't realize.
He's definitely going to lose one of them, right?
Maybe. No, those are Protoss.
Oh, God. Oh, come on.
2 health.
Really?
He manages to survive. And the shuttles are very expensive. So to save that, very nice. He's going to be able to go for storm drops later on. I don't know if he has any arbors building just yet, but we did see the Stargate was done. Now, TerrOr sees the probe transfer, so he knows the top middle has been taken, but cannons aren't done yet.
Well, I mean, this is a 3-player map, so if you double Expo up there, you really kind of cut the Terran off. Now, I mean, 2 base or 3 base Terran, like, they can live for a long time. Look at this, like, trail of cannons. It's like a tower defense game with the vulture building unit going through the cannons. But But they make it. They make it all the way through. They force a full pull, lots and lots of probe damage being done. And the third base is coming up effortlessly behind this, along with the fourth one on the way.
Now, that did a decent amount of damage, but honestly, I don't know if it's worth, because his main and natural are going to mine out pretty soon. Third base on Sylphid is not a full base, so that's going to mine out pretty soon. And if you're Terror, sure, maybe he can get bottom middle, the middle only, but it's going to be pretty hard to get mid right. So he is actually limited on resources to throw away 12 vultures like that for just a few probes. I'm not too sure. Look at the supply differential. We're down 60 supply. If OyA was to just say, I know you just threw away 30 supply, I'm just going to go for it. I don't think 120 supply can stop 180.
Oh God, more mind drags coming in as we try to clear our way out. Oh my. Okay, all right. I was almost about to make another highlight clip there, but oh, come on. That's what observers are for. Okay, so he's trying to clear the mines out. He finally gets rid of most of the fields in the middle of the map. Huge supply lead for OyA, but look, +2 is done. The magic number is here, and TerrOr has had a lot of time to build up his tank count, so he's not going to run into the same problems that he had last time.
Yeah, and we keep going back to that Stargate. It's the third time I've spotted, and it's the third time it's not blinking. So we have a strong army, but we don't have any AoE. TerrOr's got +3 going. He's even got +1 armor going. OyA only has +1 weapon, so he's not at any crazy weapon power spike for himself, like +3 weapon. So OyA's army is actually not that strong. Storm is finally coming out, but he needs to get up Arbiters. He needs to get something to prevent mid-right, because 5-base Terran with 4 gas? That's crazy strong.
Yeah, I mean, you could suicide a million billion units into that. It's not going to work out. Now, this pesky shuttle, I think it survived from earlier, so it's still pretty damaged. It's double turrets. You are not going to make it through even with speed. Okay, is he going to try for it? There's the High Templar dies? To what?
I didn't even...
Mine dragged into it. Wow, holy moly. In the meantime, no justice. The vultures, great at killing probes and buildings. They're going to bust through the cannons at the front door and might even be able to get deeper, but yeah, just getting in for a few probe kills. They spent their time killing cannons, not probes.
Yeah, but this does allow Terror to sacrifice some vultures to build up an even higher and higher tank count. Since OyA's not willing to actually attack with pure gateway man, it's okay to trade vultures because you're just getting more powerful tanks. Finally, the Stargate has started to build an arbor. He's got tons of gateways. It's like 15 gate, but I don't know if he can actually support it. Sure, he's on 4 base technically, but the probes in the main aren't mining. The naturals can be not mining pretty soon. The army is strong, but we need Storm. We need Stasis, and he's just going back and forth. Terror's just building up infinite tanks right now. He's probably at like 20 or 25 by now.
Yeah, it's going to be a super scary Terran army on the other side, especially since +3's got to be 75% of the way done, maybe. It's going to be very, very scary, and with the 5th base, Terror can just like stay on his side of the map forever, get everything he needs. But let's see. It's 2-1 done for in the meantime, which means that +3 can't be too far behind. And what is Terror, or what is OyA going to do? He has that late Arbiter, but it's just not here. He needs it.
Yeah, he's going to build a second Stargate. Oh my God, look how many tanks this is. And we're not even max. We still got 30 supply still available to build pure tank.
Oh my God.
Like, it's crazy how many tanks that this guy has. And now he's going to push to the main of OyA, I think, any minute now, while also expanding to bottom left. Finally, an Arbiter's out, but it doesn't have energy for not just Stasis. Can't recall either.
Oh man, this is... I love that we've gotten to this big epic confrontation, but it just feels like this is so like Terran favored. Not only does he have like the mines to help him position and maneuver in the middle of the map, but his tank count is just gigantic, and science vessel out for the EMP.
Oh my gosh, he's within range of just sieging on top of these goons, and it draws the army in.
Yikes, so he's gonna trade up a few free units. Oh, Arbiter's out, but I don't know if it even has energy. Flying in here, let's see if he can get a Stasis off in the back line. Looks like it doesn't quite have energy, or it got EMP'd, something like that. But actually the Dragoon arc is insane. The Zealots are kind of evaporating though. A storm on the tanks in the back. Shuttles drop off their payload. The tank count falling once again. OyA, the supply difference coming in huge. Dragoon starting to pop to the deep tank line, but the tanks are falling one by one. They all get taken out. There's only a couple of tanks left here.
Yeah, TerrOr loses his whole army. I thought he was in a position to just absolutely smash OyA there. The storms were great. The zealots melted instantly, but so many goons for OyA overwhelmed the tanks. Now we can see all that production kicking in. He's already almost back up to 150 supply. Meanwhile, TerrOr still down at only 100, and it's 3 Stargate carriers, not arbiters. If he can get up 6 carriers with arbiter for stasis, almost an unstoppable army. Now, one thing to pay attention to is what are the actual air upgrades? Probably +0. Once carriers come out, if they have no upgrades going up against Goliaths are just going to reign supreme. They're going to be so cost efficient, but still loving OyA's position. But TerrOr does have his 5th base going up at bottom left, so he is still going to be super scary. But to lose, how many tanks was that? Like 20 tanks?
Yeah, like 20 tanks.
That's actually going to take him like 5 minutes to rebuild. So for 5 minutes, OyA can do almost anything he wants.
You know, you say that, but TerrOr is still being out there active on the map, trying to get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th base.
Yeah, 6th base for Protoss, 5th base for TerrOr, plus 1 armor for his ground army, which is going to be very key versus the carriers. The Stargates aren't blinking just yet. Oh no, Storm drop into the 3rd base. Actually doesn't get that many SCVs.
Wow, that's totally useless. He like stormed the one place that would never actually kill workers. So mission not quite accomplished there, but he's still trying to be annoying on his side of the map. I like that OyA is like being proactive, but I mean, all it takes is like one ill-fated engagement, and all of a sudden TerrOr just sits back, macros to max, and pushes out even more powerfully.
Yeah, and the goons drew all the tanks to mid-right. Meanwhile, exposed bottom left, that command center is going to fall easily. Going to lose a lot of SCVs too. TerrOr scrambling to try and save this base. Actually not as big of an army as I actually thought, and +3 weapon, you know, ground armies can deal so much damage even if they are.
Oh, EMP hits the units underneath and the arbiter on top, and so there's just no way to fight this. So yeah, Protoss has to head for the hills. He doesn't even kill off the command center. He can just lift and run away. The SCV's already returning to the base to mine. I mean, they don't even care. They're running by the Protoss units that are just dying in their wake. Oh my god, this is starting to look a little bit rough if OyA can't get in to get damage done.
Yeah, now OyA's econ, I'm constantly watching it. Seems like it's kind of, something's off because his econ is pretty, or his income is pretty low. But you would think, well, okay, maybe he's just spending it all. But his supply is so low. Now, I realize he traded extremely poorly at bottom left, but it feels like we should have more supply than this. And we don't see any of the Stargates blinking, only just 1. So it's not like there's like 3, 5 carriers being produced all at once. It is, you know, 1 at a time, if any. So I don't know where the econ has gone wrong for it. Looks like another storm drop to the 3rd.
Oh my, wait.
It died before, or it tried to come out, but the shuttle died before it actually landed. So it actually just gets eliminated at the same time.
Is that even possible? I've never seen that happen.
Well, I guess it is.
It's like the beam. That's like when Scotty beams down on Star Trek, but the beam machine goes wrong and only half of Scotty gets out. Half a High Templar still can't storm.
I guarantee if this was Artosis, that Templar would have gotten out. It probably would have just shot through
100%.
the shuttle.
Yeah, it storms from the shuttle. It leans out. It reaches its hands out the window and storms. Big storms, though, on these tanks. Nice D-Matrix on the ones below. An Arc of Dragoons, but no more Zealots. And that means this Gateway Man army has to turn around.
Yeah, and TerrOr trades super effectively there. Also forces out a Stasis. Now, unfortunately for OyA, he's got a lot of Zealots just sitting at his natural. If he was to go right now, half of the tanks are frozen. They cannot help in the fight. So this is a missed opportunity right now to eliminate TerrOr's army. It's very exposed. 150 supply to 110. That's tiny, but still the econ just feels off for OyA. I don't know why it does, but it just seems like he doesn't have as much money as he potentially have. Meanwhile, TerrOr, he does have bottom left running, but this might be a mistake, a bit of an overextension.
Yeah, he is pushing pretty far forward. My drag on the tanks in the back takes almost all of them out, but the Zealot count's still too low to deal with this. A couple of the tanks were on siege. They will actually get a chance to siege. I think OyA is just going to throw away his like half of his army here.
Yeah, he throws away half of his army, but he eliminates, again, so many tanks. Supplies are at 90 for TerrOr. OyA coming in from the left side. There's no vultures, only 5 tanks.
We're out on the map with only tanks. A couple of Goliaths is not going to cut it. The Zealots are able to run over the tanks and have to try to micro back. They're trying to deal the damage that they need to, but there's no supporting units here. And maybe they can get back to this third base to hang on, but the Zealots are just following them every step of the way.
Yeah, and OyA is consistently reinforcing this army. It looks like this third base is finally going to get busted, but honestly, not a very important base because the mineral only is mined out. Gas is probably mined out. The most important part of the map right now is bottom left. I don't think OyA should necessarily be too concerned about it right now. Since he's at bottom left, he can recall it so easily that it's not like a huge priority to constantly be over there. He can recall at will whenever he wants. So, I mean, TerrOr's on a clock now too because he's got 2 bases mining. Really, he needs mid-right, but how are you ever going to get mid-right? It's just, he's never gotten, oh no, another storm drive-by.
Wait, is it
fake?
Oh, no, there it is. I think he was waiting for the transfer. Gets a nice storm. Really nasty. I think he was trying to get the one on the ramp or... Wait, is he coming back around? Yeah, he's got another one. Yes, he does. And there it is. A ton of damage done. Actually, doesn't kill as many SCVs as I thought it could for 3 storms, but I mean, at least he's getting out there harassing TerrOr instead of just letting him macro back up to max out on 3-3.
Yeah, storm drops very underused. You almost never see it nowadays. And now OyA is up 55 supply. He's at 170 near max again. He's consistently kept the Terran tank count low. This is the time to go for a recall bottom left. Eliminate this base, then TerrOr, he's down and out, I think. I think OyA's basically done it. Now, he does need to be careful that he doesn't, you know, forget to run through mines, forget to take bases, because there are still 2 or 3 bases available to him. Mid-right, this is not an important base. I think anything we lose here is just complete waste.
I love it's just a Zealot drop. I actually thought there were High Templars in there. Vessel comes back just for vision. I don't know how useful that's going to be, but it does at least help try to save this base. Another storm coming in. Express delivery on top of those tanks. The double storm, but a D-Matrix is trying to keep that tank alive. Buffers the Zealots in the front, tanks in the back, and they will be able to hold on, but not enough to save the base, which is so crucial for TerrOr.
Yeah, command center's going to fall. Storms have been great from OyA all game long. He's been blanketing the tanks very easily. Now, he does have an observer at bottom left, so he knows if there's turrets or if there's mines set up there. We didn't see a stasis go down, so there is probably still potential for recall any moment now down to bottom left. I'd really like to see a recall pretty soon there. It looks like that's what we might actually be going for. Arbiter has 200 energy. So double stasis available.
He was kind of slacking earlier. It could have been a stasis in that last fight, but yeah, if we're going for a recall, now's the time. You know what I miss is hallucinated recalls. Those things are so potent. I mean, it's kind of hard to hide the real Arbiter, but one way to get in. But yeah, if he does go for a recall, especially when TerrOr is trying to scramble as many tanks as possible because he just has such a low number out onto the map, your recall is going to get a lot of damage done.
Yeah, hallucination, definitely underrated. Almost impossible to figure out what the actual real Arbiter is. Carriers have finally been shown at bottom left, and this is going to just be a nightmare to deal with. Are you just going to send Goliaths up here to try and... Oh, it looks like we're finally going to fight... Okay, no, going to back off.
He's trying to fight on multiple...
this turret...
No way! Oh my god! My eyes! Oh my god!
He's gonna get this other one too.
No way he kills 2
It's
carriers.
Focusing down the carrier.
Well, look, I mean, this is more important. If you can kill this army, that's like, yeah, that's it, GG. TerrOr achieves the moral victory of killing a carrier with a turret and decides that's enough for him. Win condition achieved. Damn. OyA taking out TerrOr in game number 1.
Yeah, and the play was really good. Both players harassing very well. Worried that OyA was just going to lose to the 6-fact push. He has 2 gates. Then he shows up with 2 Reavers out of nowhere. But overall, like, he macroed very well. He kept TerrOr on the back foot. The storms were immaculate. Oof. He blanketed every tank. Every single fight, he wiped out so many tanks. so many tanks, and TerrOr never hit critical mass again.
Yeah, it was a couple of things. You know, the good moves you mentioned from TerrOr, but from OyA, but every once in a while, TerrOr would find his way out on the map, and either through storm drops or zealots running in through mind drags, whatever, all of a sudden it's just these naked tanks out there with nothing to help them out. They get taken out. The tank count always just somewhat anemic. I mean, look, there was that one moment where OyA was up like 80 supplies, something like that, and TerrOr kept the game close the whole way. He was able to get up 6 bases, basically, and even though he couldn't really hold on to them, he was really fighting super hard. So even though OyA draws first blood, it's best of 5 for a reason.
Yeah, so no 3-0 prediction for Bonnet this time.
Oof.
Looks like True Touch might actually be the chosen prophet for this series. And our next map is going to be Escalade, and this is like the nightmare for Terran, you know, up and down constantly. It's like Heartbreak Ridge-esque. So it's gonna be so hard to make something like a 6-fact push work. Imagine trying to move uphill into Reavers without vision. Like,
not gonna happen.
That ain't happening.
No. I mean, this is a really cool map. It reminds me a lot of like clay fields in a weird way, because you have those platforms right outside the or between the natural and the third base. But yeah, it definitely plays a lot differently thanks to those high grounds. But anyway, let's get into it and see what happens. OyA says he is good and ready to go. TerrOr now in the lobby and good to go too. We are ready to get into our second game, the final match in the round of 8. The map is Escalade, and I think we are, we're ready to go. We're playing, I think, on turn rate 16, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, players are good for it. Let's see if we can get it done. Game number 2 starts right now. Okay, that's not my fault, guys. There we go. All right, here it is. It's time to get into game number 2 in the upper left-hand corner in the blue playing Protoss. From Sweden, this is OyA.
And in the bottom right, down 0-1, in the red, we have TerrOr. So OyA playing pretty well. He macroed better than I thought. He took more bases than I was actually expecting. He didn't do anything really weird. He played straight up. I mean, the Zealot goon pressure was a bit ambitious in the early stages of the game, but it wasn't.
Control non-existent.
Yeah, well, the carrier control was a bit questionable, but you know, he didn't even need the carries. He was just throwing supply away like, hey man, I don't even need this to win.
So you can tell Nyokin's a caster. I don't know about big questionables, but I call it carrier control.
So, well, he was channeling his Lancer X move right there, because remember, versus Casper,
so
he got that.
Never forget. Damn. Oh man, that every time I get really depressed about ladder, I just think about that game and it makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
Well, I thought we were actually going to have 10-10-10 from TerrOr, but it looks like it is just a little bit of a slightly delayed depot. We don't have any proxy shenanigans from OyA. Everything so far is very normal. I actually think we might see 12 Nexus from him this time.
You think?
No.
Look, yeah, 12 Nexus is...
It's actually very common on Escalade because of how hard it is to actually go up high ground and deal with Zealots just sitting there.
I guess that's true.
You actually see it quite often. And in general, players have just gotten much better with 12 Nexus. Like, they are able to fend off SCV pulls very easily, so it's not a bad opener. Now, TerrOr, on the other hand, are we going to see anything other than 12 Gus? No, there it is.
And wow, what do you know? Right on 12 supply. You know, I was actually wondering if he was going to be playing into more of that. I think Scan was mentioning that in chat earlier, kind of this 13 gas style. It's flavor of the month over in Korea nowadays, but it's straight up 12 gas. And I mean, if you play against TerrOr, this is what I think you expect more than anything else.
Yeah, so we are just going to have a standard opener from him. We do have a standard opener from OyA so far also. I think he did make the Zealot again. It should be popping out pretty soon. He's at 16 out of 17 supplies, so that leads me to believe that that is the case. And what does TerrOr want to do with this? Last game we saw standard command center follow-up, then starport follow-up. I don't think we're going to see that this time. But Escalade is another map that is very open, so you can go for it. I mean, it actually has huge surface area at the bottom side of the position for OyA.
Yeah, there's a lot of surface area to work with there. Oh, Pro gets out. Nothing to worry about there. But what was he really looking for there? I guess he was trying to count. Well, I guess factory would be the big thing to watch out for, right?
Yeah, he wanted to get in, see if the factory went down, the exact timing of it. Usually it comes down around like 235. So if you see something at like 225, you know this guy went for 11 gas. If it's even faster than that, you know it's a 10.
Oof.
It's a 10 or 10 10 10 build. So you know that this guy's going for hard FD. And you know if you can get the probe alive after the factory is up and running, see if there's 3 on gas to confirm whether there's a second fact or something like that potentially coming in. Now, I think the Zealot and Probe are actually going to sync up and try and bust through this high ground. Yeah, here we go.
Where's the probe? It's just a Zealot right now. He's going to try to push the Marines back. 1 Zealot, 3 Marines have to head for the hills.
Yeah, that is a Zealot. The Marines, they know better than to try and fight a Zealot like that. Now, 4th Marine comes out. Now, that's a bit telling because TerrOr didn't scout the whole time. So really, when you build 4 Marines, usually this means you're doing some type of pressure build. Now he sees that it is cross map. So, the probe sneaks in, and actually it gets intercepted. But okay, really good control. SCV blocking that Zealot. Actually mandatory that it blocked that Zealot. Now that the Zealot's so weak, TerrOr's easily going to push this back. He's easily going to be able to take his natural. And Vulture actually gets by. So this is great for TerrOr.
Yeah, wow, I'm actually really surprised that Vulture was able to get through. On the other side, we're just now having the Robo thrown down, and that SCV AFK IRL going to be able to see everything. This Dragoon kind of has to do double duty. It both has to get into the base to stop the SCV from scouting, but also outside the base to stop this Vulture from running in.
Yeah, sees everything, sees that this is a normal Robo timing too, so it's not going to be any
They
fast.
trap it in the corner. You ever trapped an SCV or trapped a worker in the corner?
No, not unless it's an SCV. Like definitely not a probe. Probe probably just one-on-ones my SCV and kills it. If it's a drone, I'm probably trying to run my SCV away and the drone snipes it because every Zerg player seems to have Jadon level drone control.
I mean, drones are just mini Hydras.
They are. They're just absolutely crazy. Like, and we do have actually standard follow-up from TerrOr this time. It is Academy with Armory follow-up. He saw the Robo timing, nothing unusual. It is OyA, so getting Goliaths are going to be probably great.
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Reavers again. It is cross map, so we might get another one of those brilliant chances to see one of these long macro games. But I mean, honestly, OyA's macro looked super good in game number 1. He had a little bit of a lead, but going up to 80 supply advantage, I think every Protoss in the world wants to be in that position.
Yeah, everything went well for OyA last game. Only thing that was lacking was the Arbiters were a bit late, but other than that, fantastic. And I love TerrOr's opening here, going for the mines, and that keeps OyA back. It also forces out Observer, because if you don't go Observer, well, you just can't attack me forever. If you go Reaver, I'm just going to defend it with tanks, Goliaths, Vultures. Yeah. So actually, TerrOr's able to just power super, super hard, still on 1 factory, no second factory anywhere in sight. He may even try and take a fast command center pretty soon, despite being blind.
I mean, knowing you have all those mines out there means that even if they try to push your 3rd command center, they can't do that now. I mean, there is 1 observer. Maybe you need a second one here. But I love how vigilant these 2 Vultures are being, picking off any scouting probe, any probe that's trying to get out to make a 3rd base. Just not happening.
Yeah, and this is something that TerrOr consistently does in Terran versus Protoss. He lays mines to get vision. He also is one of the few Terran players that in the mid-late game just has mines everywhere, just absolutely everywhere. Now he's using them to perfection to determine where are the goons. If I know where the goons are, then I know how to actually dodge them and intercept this probe. He's going to intercept this probe and probably get it too.
Oh, that's
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like, look how many goons he has to send just to stop 2 Vultures.
2 Vultures, and it takes 6 goons to protect a probe. Nice. Looks like the Assassin's Creed Vultures. They got wrist blades on the front of the Vulture bike. Taking out all the probes except that one, and now finally at 7 minutes, the Nexus is going to come down. So a little bit late on the expo, and I haven't seen if TerrOr's thrown down a command center yet. It's not building it on location, but yeah, he's totally safe to if he wanted it to.
Yeah, he scanned and saw there was 2 gates. He scanned and saw no tech. It was just observatory. Yet OyA was mining gas at the natural. There was no Reaver tech there either. And because the Nexus was delayed so long, I would actually be pretty scared because in my mind as a Terran, it'd be like, well, wait a minute, dude, you only have 2 gates for that long? What are you actually doing? I know you've got a lot of money. So either OyA is hiding something, which is very possible at the bottom position of top left, or he's just trying to building up so much resources that he's going to double expand. So you see that TerrOr is respecting the potential that there is hidden tech, because he went for 3 factory, not just 2. Now he is taking command center for himself, and he is going into the standard 2-1 style.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be that double expand, but a mine actually delayed the Nexus at the 12 o'clock location. So it's actually only just now coming down for the 4th base for OyA. And I'm waiting to see these vultures get back out on the map. TerrOr hasn't really sent a whole lot out just yet, but there we go. All right, just now the vultures running through the middle of the map to continue laying those big minefields you were talking about.
Yeah, he's still got a little bit of vision on the center and right side of the map. He's not able to intercept these probes, just has no vultures left over, but he is going to have his command center going to mid-right pretty soon. Now, Escalade is kind of a hard map to get a 3rd and 4th base. Mid-right is pretty far away. A lot of times you even see Terran players just go for bottom left in this scenario, so it is a little bit surprising that he's going to take mid-right, but that does, if he secures that, it also defends that side from recall, so it is a pretty smart move to take that position. But again, it's so far, he does need to be very careful to make sure that he does defend it properly. Now, back in OyA's base, we did see Templar Archive was about to finish. Stargate should be coming down pretty soon, but I don't see it anywhere.
Yeah, what are we doing here? I was actually waiting for that, because anytime you have sort of this armistice in the middle, you know, it's a great time to just build up 8 carriers. So let's see. The Arbiter play in game number 1 was, I mean, not bad, but I don't know. The stasises were okay. It just never felt like it came at the same time.
So it looks like OyA is one of those players that really like Storm, because I still don't see Stargate. I don't see any big block going down in his main. So we may see same play we saw last game. Really late Arbiter, reliant on shuttle drops with Storm. Now the Storms were great. Let's be honest. They were really good.
Fantastic.
But Arbiters, I mean, I would prefer to face Storm than Arbiters. That's my own opinion, because Arbiters are just a nightmare. You have to worry about stasis. You have to worry about recall. You have to worry about, if I run out of scan, are everything just invisible? Ooh. So it is going to be Gateway Man again with Shuttle and Storm mixed in. So TerrOr's going to have to be careful to not clump up his units, because despite stasis, a Vulture getting into mid left, how many kills can it get?
I think we get at least a couple. I think there were a couple of Dragoons that tried to run in, but they died to mines. Either they died to mines, or there's just nothing here to protect the space.
Yeah, there's just nothing here. That's going to be multiple probe kills. It's only 2 so far, so a little bit out of position. TerrOr's probably confused at what's going on, because nothing's coming to actually help defend it.
Yeah, that Vulture is going to get quite a few kills down there. See, what are we at right now?
Is something happening at the natural? No.
No, he's just AFK.
He's setting up for a bust. I think this is a bust. Remember, he has a shuttle.
Yeah. Oh, wow, he does. Yeah, and he's got the 4 like flanking Dragoons almost to come in from the other side.
But it's not
half his units across the map. What?
Wait, what?
Is this a bust? I don't think so. That's what we like to. It's free real estate.
This probe is still alive. I mean, this Vulture's still killing stuff.
What is this game broken? Is the replay broken?
It's not a replay. This is live, so this can't be broken.
Is the live game broken, Hyoken?
No, look at the supply. TerrOr's shooting up in supply. It's 130 to 125. He's got.
I was just watching OyA and he wasn't spending any money. I was like, wait a second, no, it's actually a live game.
He's got 2-1 pretty soon too. OyA has a huge macro slip right now. 2,000 minerals. There's nothing happening on the map. I don't know. Okay, now he started to spend his money, but TerrOr's moving out, but.
We tripped there for a second.
Where's his army?
The wheel fell off our chair and fell on the floor.
TerrOr's entire army is at his natural. This can't be real.
What is that? No, it does. It looks like a desync, but it's a live game. So buckle up, guys. This is getting crazy. What is happening? OyA, yeah, he just slipped.
No, really? No, there's no way, because I keep looking at TerrOr's red box that goes to the natural.
Yeah.
And he's just not sending any of these units. There's no way. You really think in a 15-minute game we have 2 tanks fighting across the map?
In a world.
There's no way.
Where 2 tanks win you the game against pros.
There's no way. So unfortunately, we have a broken game and a live game. This can't be real.
No, there's no way. Yeah, this did happen in KSL one time.
I've never seen
But it's live. So sometimes in Warcraft 3 Reforged games, the game will desync from the server, but then the game just ends. It doesn't keep going in one of these weird...
Well, unfortunately, we saw the result too, so that's a bit disappointing.
Well, okay, so hear me out here, right? OyA, you know, he's a little bit of an old school player, not the oldest. My theory is, what if he got like some like cat hair or something stuck in the trackball on his mouse, and he couldn't move it to build units? Like, okay.
Yeah. So what's TerrOr's excuse then? He just knew that there's cat hair. The gentleman's agreement.
TerrOr ships his cat across the world to sabotage him with his house. What?
Well, we're gonna have to
look. I'm offering a bounty for any sufficient explanation on what happened there in the end. Probably a little bit of a bug, most likely with our observer mode, because that did look really, really weird. I'm trying to imagine in my brain what could possibly have happened there, just because that looked super, super weird. We do have the technology, guys, to run back into that game and then rewatch it from replay. And so I think that's what we're going to show you guys right now, just because whatever that was did not look like a game of StarCraft I have ever seen. So, yeah. So first of all, we're going to ask the players to hold on for a second. We're going to get back into the replay before we try to make sense of whatever that was. You know, every once in a while, I'll see like, a control group of Stim Marines kill like 55 Zerglings. So I'm like, is this a glitched observer mode? No, it's actually just real. So sometimes you can just misread the situation. I don't think that's what was happening there.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. This is just hilarious to watch it. 2 tanks like just push across. Yeah. Meanwhile, there's 100 goons at the natural just stuck.
Yeah, we're watching the instant replay, and it's pretty clear there's a desync. I understand it's funny. Oh god, the Dragoons are just running around in circles. We're finally seeing what you guys see, and look, I'm glad you could laugh at us for casting a broken game, but we're gonna go ahead and get back and show a replay here 1 second. So give us a second. We'll load up the next replay. We can spoil the next. Wait, are we allowed to spoil the next map while we're waiting for the replay now?
Yeah. Okay,
it's La Mancha. So that's the game that you have thinking that was coming. OyA saying, I was floating a lot of minerals. So this is where you find out that all the shilling we're doing for our players is actually like non-existent. The Dragoons were just totally broken anyway.
If we get into this replay
and it's not
broken and I see TerrOr attack with 2 tanks,
it's a 2-tank surprise push.
I'm out of here. I'm just actually out.
Nyokin's going straight to the PC bong to go get those 2-tank push ladder points. What even? I've never seen anything, because that's like the mid game. You're supposed to be bringing to bear these massive Protoss guns, and there's like 55 Dragoons trapped in the natural running around in circles. Oh, my brain, it hurts. Look, guys, it's about 4 a.m. and Nyokin and I were talking. It's like the subway doesn't open for another hour and a half. How are we going to make sure the games keep going until Nyokin can get home? Well, looks like we're coming through with a potentially broken game. Now, yeah, we've loaded up the replay, and so we're about ready to jump into the replay and fast forward to how do you even figure out when the replay broke? Like, what was the first tip-off?
10 minutes looks good. Well, when we started seeing idle probes is when I started.
Yeah, something was clearly up at that
also
point.
When the vulture never got denied at the top level.
You're right. It just stayed there and kept killing probes. So we're going to fast forward to about 10 minutes into the game and jump into it about 10 minutes in to show you kind of what was going on there. And if we see another mystical, magical, Miss Frizzle wild magic school bus ride from these magic tanks in the middle, I don't know, dude. It's just going to blow my mind. So let's get into it. This is the replay of the end of game number 2 between TerrOr and OyA. We're going to watch this, see what happens.
Yeah, so it looks like OyA basically just double expanded. He doesn't have a Stargate. He is still going Gateway Man with Shuttle Storm, which is honestly pretty good for what TerrOr's going for, because TerrOr's going for He went for fast factory follow-ups despite going for heavy upgrades. So he's going to move out and he's going to run into Storm, and that's going to be a very deadly combination right there.
Here's those pesky vultures that ran in. Now, we just watched them sit in the corner and not do any damage. I think we're going to see what they actually did, which was kill a ton of probes. Okay, then it survives and just denies.
I'm a little
worried too.
Yes, I'm a little worried.
That's what it did in the
everything looks very similar.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you're right. The cannon wasn't in the replay.
Okay. He sends a goon to defend it.
All right, this definitely did not happen. Okay. All right. All right. My faith in these players is returning. Like, did we actually just let like 12-year-olds with the same IDs as our pro players enter the game and play instead? I don't know. But no, it was a broken replay, and now we're gonna see some more of the vulture terrorism and probably a few more than just 2 tanks push out on the map.
Yes, so Terror has a lot of factories already up. It's like 8 maybe. It looks like maybe he didn't even build a third command center this whole time. It is just 6 fact. He's going for a timing here, and it's right before Storm hits. Storm did just barely finish, so he does have some available. He does have 3 right now. Looks like he's got about 30 seconds, then he'll have 6 available, and that's gonna be super hard to actually stop this army. But where's the actual army of OyA? It's just so tiny.
Yeah, really non-existent. Even the storms, which are supposed to be how you beat these big tank clumps or vultures up in the front. I mean, that's it. So here come the storms in the back. We got 3 storms inside.
Oh, you gotta be careful sitting over mines like that, though.
Okay, hopefully no mine drags. The vultures can mine drag into the tanks, but they can't. Dropping off the storms in the back. A couple of tanks low, but they don't go down. The vulture or the zealots evaporate. The dragoons can't push into this deep dish tank line.
Yeah, both of the Templars unloaded on top of mines, and they just instantly exploded. Also, he wasn't even able to unload all of them. Only 2 of them unloaded. Now, Terror easily can push through here. He's even got a vessel for potential D-Matrix. Mass Goon Man versus Tank Vulture. That's not going to work out. We need a better unit comp.
Yeah, this is exactly that 2-tank push.
Oh, the mine!
12 tanks, and that mine killing off the dragoons in the front. Reinforcements, it doesn't matter. He's gonna have a high ground to defend here. You ain't defending against 7, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks pushing up, 7, 8, 9 tanks coming in. Yeah, nothing's gonna happen. When it looked like 2 tanks, this was a lot more impressive, but I think we all know how this goes.
Yeah, +2 weapon kicking in for Terran. The D-Matrix is perfect.
Disgusting. Buffers just plenty, and these tanks are just moving. Dragoons explode. And it makes a whole lot more sense why OyA left that game.
Yeah, so Terror with a really nice timing there right when 2-1 completes, and the storms not paying off this time, dropping right on top of some mines.
Yeah, 2 games in a row, OyA is like carpet bombing these mines with high Templars. I don't know if that's quite the way you're supposed to do it, but suffice it to say, look, Terror looked a lot better that game, especially with that super potent push right through the middle.
Yeah, and it looks like now we are going to get into game 3. La Mancha is our map, and I think now OyA has kind of showed his hand, because twice in a row we've gone Gateway Man, Storm. Yep. And looks like Terra has solved that, because rushing the vessel, if we get EMP also, we just EMP those Templars, then we have no AoE left. And he's getting upgrades with it too. 2-1 with EMP, with facing no Arbiter, no AoE. You aren't stopping Terran with that unit comp. So I actually think that now's the time OyA definitely needs to go into Arbiter.
Yeah, I really like the Arbiter. I mean, I really did not like his carriers. So we got to find a happy medium somewhere in there where we kill him before it hits the late game, where we need those carriers to win conditions. So I think Arbiter is really the way to go. If he wants to go super crazy, we still haven't seen any of that trademark OyA aggression that we were really hyping up. Anything like proxy gates, any like crazy DT shenanigans. Look, there's a ton of things out there at OyA's disposal. He just hasn't done them just yet. So, I mean, it's clear that he's really practiced this sort of gateway man into Arbiter style, but, you know, it hasn't really pulled it off just yet. And the High Templars, I think it's pretty clear, just not working out. So there's a lot on the line as we get into game number 3. It is tied up 1-1. And so that means we are really going the distance here in this series. So let's get ready. Our next map is on La Mancha. And I believe our players have not joined the lobby yet. So still waiting for them to get in here. They were ready last time. We had to take a break for that brief replay. But yeah, I think TerrOr looked much more stable. Didn't really get thrown off by anything OyA did that game.
Yeah. So what will be the switch up for OyA, or what will be the switch up for TerrOr? I actually think that this is the map that we get aggressive on, because it's 4 players. You can't build in the center of the map very easily.
You got a 50-50
it doesn't make
size.
sense. But at the same time, TerrOr probably knows that, like, hey, you can't be aggressive here. So that means that you're going to be aggressive here. So I don't know what OyA should really think about doing here, but I personally like forward gate here at your natural. Try and get some pressure down onto TerrOr. But we'll see.
I'm looking forward to it. Our players are now in the lobby. We've got GGGLs coming out from them both, and that means it's time to get into game number 3. It's tied up at 1-1. Let's see which player can pull ahead and put themselves on match point as we get into game number 3. All right, here we go in the upper left-hand corner in the blue, playing Protoss from Sweden. It is OyA.
In the bottom right, in our red, it is TerrOr. So TerrOr, 12 gas both games. He's known to do all types of builds. I would like to see 10-10-10 potentially, or gasless. We rarely see gasless simply because of how often people go for Zealot pressure. Now versus OyA, he showed it twice in a row. So it would be risky to go for it versus him, since that is pretty much a direct counter to gasless expand. But you never know with TerrOr. He's always up to no good, it seems like.
I don't know too many gasless expand builds. You don't have to be like pretty sure you're not going to get rolled over when you go up and against an aggressive player like this. So I like the playstyle from OyA, but I feel like he really thrives when he gets like super in your face. And I mean, I guess that's what this like really heavy macro gateway style allows you to do to some extent, but I'm pretty sure TerrOr's stabilized at this point, at least mentally coming into this game. So man, if OyA doesn't really bring it back here, obviously match point, game 3, super huge to win in a best of 5.
Yes, so this is going to give a bit of momentum to whoever wins this third match. We do have, looks like TerrOr again is just going to be standard. It's going to be standard racks timing. We're going to have 12 gas coming in pretty soon. He is scouting faster than last game. On the previous map, he sent it out after he started the gas. So maybe this is going to not be 12 gas. We've got 100 minerals. 13. Oh, it is going to be 13 gas. So it is, like you said, more people are going for 13 gas these days. Now, could be going for 13 gas simply because when you go 12 gas, you generally just don't have the minerals for the factory right when you get 100 gas. So even though the 13 gas is much later than 12 gas, really doesn't make that big of a difference. Maybe like 3-4 seconds, not anything ridiculous.
Now, Nyokin, there's a probe on the bottom of the map. Now, and normally I would consider this a scouting probe, but I'm hoping that we actually do get a chance to see something maybe proxy down there, whether it is like proxy robo, or I mean, he is going to get scouted coming up here, as we can see on the mini map. But let's see if he actually does choose to do something crazy like that. I think he'll scout first. Obviously, there is one factory coming up on the way, so if he does get in and scout this, then I mean,
he missed the Zealot.
Did he?
Yeah, he missed the Zealot. It
oh my god, you're
went
right.
down towards the bottom. Unfortunately for OyA, he's the first Protoss in this entire tournament to scout bottom, or to scout the Terran player last. So it's going the wrong direction. But he did miss it.
Yeah. I mean, so the Zealot's at least a little bit of a mystery. Maybe for a second he'll just think that he skipped it, but it's out there somewhere. The bunker, though, is actually kind of a nice, what do you call that? Stylistic choice. Do you really super need that right now?
Yeah, you need the bunker versus the Zealot. The Zealot can 1v3 these Marines if they're not microed perfectly. So it's a nice. Yeah, just use an SCV because those are so easy to control. So you gotta always have the bunker. Like, oh, is he running by? Of course he's running by. He's
Of
Protoss.
course he's running by. I thought he was going to stop it with the SCV, but straight into the main.
Now, this is what I thought he was going to do the first time, because even if he doesn't like actually kill a lot of stuff here, it draws the Marines out of the bunker. But you can't lose your Zealot this quickly, because the Goon needs to actually start damaging the bunker and be in range of the Natural to put on potential threat there. But this SCV is doing a good job to just draw the Goon back to top right.
Yeah, with the Dragoons being drawn back, that means the Marines will have more than enough time to get back to the bunker, defend the natural expansion. Now both players will be getting their naturals at basically the same time, which is, I think, great for TerrOr.
Yeah, Nat going up for OyA, Nat going up for TerrOr. The Goons really were not in sync with this Zealot. So the real potential with that attack is the Goon can actually start one-shotting Marines if they get low enough. You know, they can deal a lot of damage at their entrance. But Zealot falls too quickly. TerrOr does stabilize. He's going to take his natural very easily. SCV got out and went unseen, so he's actually going to try and scoot around this map and get off a secondary scout. Now, back in OyA's base, I didn't see any key building going down, so I don't know if it's Citadel or Robo. Okay, finally Robo starts, but this is really late. Looks like he's jumping on the bunker, though.
Oh my god, he actually did pick off an SCV. You know, there's magic numbers of Dragoons. I thought you kind of wanted 4, but the tank seems a little bit more bold than I would expect. I guess he knows that, you know, it's only 3, so not as much to worry about.
Yeah, not too worried about 3 Goons, especially with a near full bunker. SCV comes in here and he's going to spot the Robo and see that it is super late. Bunker might actually fall.
Yeah, he only had 2 repairing. You need 1 SCV per Dragoon, basically. So gets it back up to the right count, sacrifices a little bit of extra time on the bunker to just make sure that wait, what?
He lost a Goon to these tanks.
Ugh.
Bit of miscontrol there.
Ouch.
Not a huge loss, of course, because, you know, as a Terran player, Goons, they're like basically free. They're just crazy how many that Protoss can actually build. But what's OyA's follow-up going to be? It looks like he's setting up for potentially double expand. Meanwhile, somewhat fast gas, or pretty standard gas for TerrOr at the Nat. So this may be setting up for Armory, or it could be a factory flood.
Is he going to be able to get it in C? Probably not, actually. So, I mean, maybe you'll have the information in time. The bare minimum, you just keep your Dragoons outside the natural. Anything that pushes out, at least you're going to see coming. Now, on the other side, OyA setting up for a 3rd base coming up here in the near future. And, I mean, he's still only on, like, 2... Is he really still on 2 gateways? Wow, yeah. Okay. So we still haven't seen that big gateway explosion. And I think TerrOr rather, is really all too happy to just kind of chill inside his base at this point. Is that double armory?
Oh, it is single armory, but the armory was completed, I guess, pretty quickly, because that's the academy at the natural. So +1 going to be relatively fast. We do have OyA going for Reaver, so he's not double expanding, and he has a 2nd gate. So he's not going to take a 2nd or 3rd base too aggressively. He's not going to risk playing under defensive versus someone like TerrOr. TerrOr's got his 2nd factory coming up. He's going to have scan pretty soon, and I think we're going to see a few more Goliaths coming pretty soon, especially since there's no 3rd nexus versus someone like OyA, who you know loves Reavers. What else could it be if there's no nexus? It's got to be Reavers.
Yeah, you definitely expect Reavers from OyA. I think it is kind of uncharacteristic to not have like if you're watching Flash, he's got 2 SCVs on the map right now. You know, he's always trying to find ways to see what his opponent is up to, because this can be one of those pivotal moments where Protoss is trying something, you know, crazy. And I mean, I guess OyA is actually doing something, I wouldn't say crazy, but here it comes. Let's see what's up. No turrets or anti-air here, so this is the potential to deal a lot of damage.
Yeah, but 4 tanks are sitting here and waiting, and one of the tanks is sieged up with a turret around it. Starport is done, so Science Facility is going to be going down pretty soon. We're going to start getting into the super powerful 2-1 upgrades, and TerrOr is really nailing his build. He's going to have Science Facility done at around 9 minutes. That's going to allow him to have +2 at 12 minutes. So he's going to have a really huge power spike then, but because of how fast it is, maybe actually TerrOr's just willing to camp to 3-2, go for like a 15-30 timing. We have to wait and see on what his decision is. Shuttle has speed, though. It has found an opening at the natural.
Oh, man, running right by the turret. Let's see if he can drop on the tank in the back. Ooh, drops it off, picks it up. He's waiting for the tank shot to be tanked by that Zealot, but he only gets one SCV.
Yeah, but at least he forces an SCV pull. And look at the SCVs. They're all messed up right there, only on 3 patches, despite there being 12 SCVs. Now, I remember that in a game previously in BSL, like a few seasons ago, the SCVs ended up never fixing themselves. Okay, there they go. That didn't take long to fix. But I remember somebody had the AI messed up, and that was a catastrophe for them. But luckily for TerrOr, they don't do that, and he does notice it. Third base is up for OyA. Supplies are decent for him. He's up 20 supply. But again, I don't see Citadel. I don't see Temple Archive. I don't see Stargate. So how are you going to stop this incoming 2-1 push with Reaver? Reaver is very hard to control versus 2-1. It's much easier versus something like a 6-fact, though.
How many factories are we going to have?
So we're going to have 5.
5.
He's going to go up into 8-fact. It's going to look very similar to the Escalade game. I also think that this is just a 1 armory timing again. He's got 6-fact already coming up. Everything looks very similar to Escalade. Double Reaver.
Oh my god. Oh, the second Scarab doesn't get off. I mean, he does save the Reavers, so it's not a total tragedy, but it was a nice try. And I love that OyA is going for this stuff. This is, I think, something probably only OyA would try. He's at least going to be positioned in that, sieging position right outside the natural expansion. And let's see what he wants to do with this. I mean, it doesn't look like he's actually trying to push in. So, I mean, wouldn't you expect maybe another expansion to come down behind this, or is this just macro mode?
Yeah, OyA may take another expansion, but you also have to remember that he just came in and saw that 6 facts are going down decently fast. So he may be worried that if he spends 400 minerals right here, he can't get Storm, or he can't build enough units. So he's looks like he's prioritizing more gateways. He's got Templar Archive coming in, but that means Storm hasn't even started just yet. And last game, TerrOr moved out at 12 minutes. So we have a very small window where we can get Storm in time. If he wants AoE, we need Templars queued up right now.
Well, OyA is going to try to go for it here. How much he's going to commit, I don't totally know, but it looks like it's going to be pretty severe. All the tanks positioned now in front of the bunker. Let's see. He's just trying to tank it with maybe a Dragoon and get the Reaver shot off. Not going to happen. So, I mean, there's a bunch of gateways, really, really powerful back row here from OyA, but can he catch TerrOr before these factories kick in and give him the critical mass he needs?
Yeah, OyA's still up 35 supply, but with those factories completed now, TerrOr's going to shoot up pretty quickly, especially since OyA only has 6 gates himself. It's not like he's got 10. So the supply should go slowly up in favor of our Terran player. Like I said in previous games, TerrOr is really good at laying mines everywhere. You can see he's trying to set up minefields on these ramps. OyA is going to face tank him with the Zealots.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's one way to deal with it. There's like an observer right there, and he watches the Zealots side of mines. I'm like, what a futile existence. Is Storm done yet? I mean, I don't see any High Templar.
We lost our Reaver!
Okay, never mind. That's where it was.
Well, that's going to be go time for TerrOr now. He's got +2 now, or very quickly. 12 minutes is hit. It's time. He's got Vessel. Also, this is going to be a repeat of the Escalade game. How do we stop this army? Sure, he's up 30 supply. No AoE, though.
Yeah, and, barring another broken replay, this is going to be very difficult for OyA to stop. I mean, like we said, pivotal game 3, a lot on the line. This matters a ton. And he's actually just penetrating between a couple of factions of this army. Now, this high ground is super important. The Zealots are actually running in onto the tanks in the front. The Vultures are actually in the back, not where they really need to be. But the Zealots just aren't in position now. Here come the Storms. He's got a couple of them. Storm on the front tanks. He needs to get back to the back. The double Storm takes the tanks out in the front, not the ones in the back. The Vultures move forward. They reclaim the high ground for TerrOr, and OyA has to fall back.
And there's just still so much supply left over for TerrOr, and now the Templars also get picked off, so they're not going to be able to get off another juicy Storm. There's just not critical mass for OyA. He's bleeding off here. No Arbiters in sight. there's still only like 7 gate for him versus 6 factory, not nearly enough. Shuttle goes down too.
Well, there's just not a whole lot left over. I thought he was going to maybe a little bomb into the back with a vulture or with a zealot bomb and take out the tanks with friendly fire, but not going to happen. And I mean, oh yeah, that mine taking out the dragoon is kill the tank is kind of adding insult to injury. The push survives. The reinforcements are on their way. I mean, it's a lot of gates to macro from. Can OyA really hang on here?
Yes, supplies are even. It is 9 gate, but the tank count is very low. Looks like that tank's a little too far forward. It is going to get picked off. Maybe OyA can hold for now. Terror needs to get critical mass on his units. He's down to 1 tank with 2 health.
Whoa, and the tank is safe. I don't know if I'm the umpire here, but it is going to survive a little bit longer. And it's just, it's so valuable here because it can get buffered by the vultures in the front that are streaming with that speed across the map, and that's it. GG. OyA taps out, and TerrOr claims game number 3 to take a 2-1 lead in this best of 5.
Yeah, and like I said, it looks like TerrOr's just figured it out that this is Gateway Man with Storm. We hit fast 2-1 timing. OyA only had 2 storms that time. He took no damage to the Reaver either. His Goliath timing seems to be perfect. So I don't think he needs to change anything. It was the exact same build as Escalade.
Yeah,
like we literally
right.
did the same thing, and
The
both
same
times
fate, yeah.
OyA couldn't stop it.
So OyA can't really stop that push. He's got to figure out some way to deal with this, I guess, patient 2-1 timing. I mean, don't forget the real predicator of that push was running his shuttle in with the Reavers and losing it, which only could have helped in that against that push. So there's some things that could have been changed, but I think the biggest surprise, at least for me, is not having seen OyA go for any of these like really super aggressive pushes. Like, I guess he did try to break the tank line in that game. Same thing in Escalade, it just gets shut down. So TerrOr's looking super strong. It seems like he's really figured out this go-to build that OyA has been trying time and time again. But now we're really going to switch it up as we get into game number 4. This is match point. Oh, the map is match point, but it's also match point for TerrOr. So OyA can't figure out a way to stop this big 2-1 push. That's going to be game over, man. Let's get into it. It's game number 4, and this is on match point. Here we go, in the bottom left-hand corner in the red, playing Terran from Peru. This is TerrOr.
In the top right, in the blue, he needs your energy rapid.
He does.
Otherwise, he's out of here. It is OyA. So match point, 2-player map, super aggro map. I think it's too obvious to be super aggro now, though. So I think that OyA doing the smart thing, not going to go for like in-base proxy or something like that. That would be too obvious for TerrOr. He's obviously going to scout it. So I think to just play normal is actually the optimal play here. Now TerrOr's had success with the 2-1 push twice in a row, and now match point, you don't even have to push to kill them. Now all you have to do is get into a position below the nat, and if they don't fight you, then you can just siege the natural. So OyA, he's gonna have to find some way to actually stop this push. I forgot that he lost the Reavers last game. That actually would have saved him. But well, I mean, I forgot.
Maybe it saves him, but you know, for how long, right? I mean, it's still a super powerful push with a billion factories and macro from behind. But I just want to see something aggressive from OyA. Whenever he seems to put the pressure on, whether it's building up a bunch of dragoons to dive bunkers or running zealots by, I don't know, whatever it is, it really does kind of play to his strengths. I just, you know, we saw that a lot of people predict either 3-0s for TerrOr, which is already not the case, or 3-2s in a really, really close series. So always get a lot of predictions on the line. That's all I'm trying to say.
Well, we got gas steel, and you know, in the past, like 10 years ago, if somebody gas stole me, it'd be already just go next. Because how are we recovering from this? Your factory is so late. It's just so punishing to deal with. What are you gonna do? Double, or I mean, go for an expansion real fast?
I mean, if you're Artosis, you build 4 racks and run across the map.
Oh, yeah, you can do that, but I don't know. Nowadays, gas steals, like Terrans don't even care that much. Like, generally, you just gasless expand, and the Protoss went for a later, cybernetics. Like, I don't care. I'll just take a command center. That's fine. So we'll have to see how Terra's going to respond to this. It looks like he's decided that he's actually going to try and kill it. Now, my personal opinion is that if you're going to kill the assimilator, you need to go and kill it, not really screw her. Oh, is it going to get this SCV? No.
No,
he
he's
might.
going back
He wants
for it.
it.
Oh, he's going to get it.
It's stuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
one more hit. Oh, the glitch out. That was actually really lucky that he saved the probe too. He's going to get out before the Marine pops out. And what is... Missed it. What is the reaction here? I mean, the SCV's seeing everything that's happening on OyA's side of the base, so it's not going to be a big mystery. Can't fight that.
Yes, so we do have Gate Nexus coming in for OyA, but it gets blocked by TerrOr. So our whole build is really jacked up. Now, what is OyA's response going to be? Is he going to pull probes to kill this eBay? No. Is he going to put down gas as a response? I mean, he has so many minerals, he has to. Zealot is coming across the map.
He's going to kill that SCV.
I mean, he doesn't even kill it.
Wow, 5 HP. Never mind.
He's going to take the mineral only, but this base only has 6 patches compared to, I think, Matchpoint has 8 at the natural. It looks like 7. So, I mean, it is only 1 patch, but actually that's a lot of resources that are gone simply by taking the mineral only. Zealot gets 1 kill, but that's not a big deal. And he dies. So actually everything is a disaster right now for OyA. The only good thing that went for him was the gas deal, but now the gas is up and running.
Yeah, we've got 3 of the scariest Marines I've ever seen running across the map. Yeah, man, it's actually kind of weird. You get in your head, it's like, aha, I've used my early ability to be annoying to great effect. Well, it turns out your opponent can do the same thing back to you. And it's really screwed him up. He had to take his natural at the 3rd base on match point. That is just so pushable.
Yeah, and also Terran has high ground if they can actually get up there. Of course, it's going to be very difficult, but potentially they could get up there. Also, now kind of it's a weird spot. Like, okay, this is my personal opinion because it's awkward to have bases spread out like this. As a Terran player, you're not used to playing like a Zerg where they have hatcheries all over the place. So you're in this really weird like mental state or mind or like mode where it's like, well, this is kind of weird. How do I make it less weird? Well, I'm kind of just going to double expand and try and make it normal. Well, Terra knows that. So whatever he thinks is a good counter to an instant double expand, I think that's what he should go for, whether it's drops, whether it's like a Marine medic play, because I think 100% of the time this is going to be like a late robo into fast second nexus.
Where's the... I was waiting to see like a probe run out on the map, because I mean, if you're going to take the 3rd, you should probably just pick up the natural too. Obviously,
what's that probe doing?
One hit. Gets it.
I thought he was going to go to that nat and try and build another nexus.
No, it's just
we'll wait and see. He's got 200 gas coming pretty soon, so if he's going to go for robo, it will be any moment now. Oh, what's that probe doing? So you're gonna put down a nexus?
He's banking minerals, but he doesn't have 400, so that probe would be early. On the other side, we do actually have the dropships coming out, or at least what I imagine is going to be Vulture Drop.
Yeah, it's going to be Starport. So Vulture Drop versus a no robo Protoss build. I mean, that's the dream scenario, really. Yeah. Here comes Zealot Goons. Now, we saw OyA try and make magic happen with this on Sylphid, so he may try and do it again. There's no SCVs in position. Okay, now he is going to come up and try and repair it.
Oh, he's in position. He's ready for it. I kind of thought that he was going to try the same thing, but maybe mix in the extra Dragoons. He is actually sending them out.
Yeah, he's building goons nonstop out of these 2 gates. There is the robo, super delayed, as I said, simply because the gas was also super delayed. But he is banking a lot of minerals. I expect that to be a nexus any moment now at the nat. Tank is setting up in position. What'd I tell you, Rapid?
Wow. How does he guess? Well, I love how it gets scouted instantly too. TerrOr just perfectly right on that time.
And I said the Robo's gonna be late. What's a good counter to the Robo? Oh, here we go. He's just trying to jump on the tank.
He is gonna try to shoot it down the repair in the back. He's actually building, not repairing. Oh my god, he needs one more hit. The Dragoons go down. OyA, heartbreak, tragedy. Oh my god. Well, you know, he tried.
Yeah, he tried. It was actually not bad. He almost got the tank, but I mean, still, it would have been a bunker just sitting there. But to eliminate the tank also would have eliminated the drop because the vultures aren't going to move out with nothing to defend the bunker.
Yeah.
So now losing 2 goons or so for free, tank never dies. This drop is going to move across the map. The SCV saw that the Robo was late, saw that the Nexus went down. He's going to have free reign over this main. Well, I mean, the observer is going to come out, but if it rallies across the map, oh, this is going to be disaster city.
Yeah. Oh, trying to get out with another SCV just to see the lay of the land, but
he's taking a detour. He's taking the scenic route through the middle.
He's going to actually, with that detour, avoid being detected in the middle of the map by these Dragoons that are running around. That's crazy. We've got Stealth SEAL Team 6 here running across the map incognito, undetected, heading back, I guess, for the main, but if it gets intercepted, oh, wow, beautiful move there. Knows exactly where it's going to be. Heads it off at the pass with the Dragoons, but it still gets in.
Yeah, but now he has no goons in his main. They're all out in the center of the map. Instant pro pull, which is smart. And this is the same thing we saw on Stilson.
Oof. Well, yeah, things kind of repeating itself here. I'm not able to mine from the main at all. The few probes that are there are going to die to just a single vulture. Trying to return back with probes, it seems like, I mean, you don't know where the mines are. Like, that could have been way worse, but in the end, he does actually catch the drop. And
yeah, the drop gets intercepted, but we lost 6 probes. Meanwhile.
Okay, I thought it was actually going to be 7. He picks off the remaining forces that were dropped out of the drop ship, but still, at what cost, right? It's still, I mean, TerrOr's down in supply, but getting any damage done in a situation like this just feels like the bonus zone.
Yeah, he's got armory done, so he's got his upgrades coming in pretty soon. More than likely, we're going to see a flood of factories. It looks like that what he's already decided on. Wraith is out to make sure that Reaver play can't get OyA back into this game. That's really the only hope for him to bring it back. Yeah. Now, OyA has double Nexus, so he's going to have big econ kicking in pretty soon. But TerrOr knows that if he can just get to the natural low ground, he can siege that. That's going to deny that base. He's got his 5th factory coming up, 6th factory coming up. So this is the TerrOr special. This is what he loves to do after going for a starport. Just follow up with an all-in 6th fact. He's got good econ. He can transition out of it, and he's going to have +1 weapon.
Yeah, and if your opponent is trying anything crazy like building that extra Nexus, it's 400 minerals. It's not going to shoot back. So I really love this play by TerrOr. It really feels like, especially ever since he lost that first game, he's just figured it out. Figured OyA out, rather. So I'm pretty excited to see this because outside of the natural, there's an observer, but not in the main. So I'm still not sure he fully knows exactly what's coming his way.
Now, even though OyA did lose 6 probes in his main, if we look at the supply, he's up 40 supply already. Oof. So I am a bit worried that TerrOr is going to move out too quickly, not have critical mass, and OyA is doing a really good job, actually, to macro up. Now, this is very worrying now because TerrOr went 6 fact follow-up, but there's a command center being built at the natural. So it feels like we're kind of in between builds here. If he goes for a timing, this is not as fast of a timing as it could have been. If he doesn't go for a timing, well, now he cedes the map to OyA. But OyA, I don't think he recognized, OyA is going to try and jump on these tanks. It's only 4.
Yeah, there's only 4 tanks here, and even though he doesn't really have the zealot count, he's going to try to target down the tanks. He's being wary of the mines in the front, the unsiege on the tanks to pull back. TerrOr's going to save them, but the zealots are just continuing to run forward. They snipe off the turret at the front, which is going to allow the shuttle to draw back into the back of the tanks. And even though it only has a couple health, it's going to deliver the Zealot payload onto those vulnerable tanks in the back. There are quite a few unsieged tanks, but those are just going to get jumped on immediately. The one tank that is sieged gets picked off. The bunker is still inhabited, but the Dragoons should be able to deal with it almost immediately. 4 Marines is a lot of damage, but I mean, these Dragoons are insane.
Yeah, Goons and Zealot Bomb did way too much damage. Their bunker gets taken down. So many tanks get taken down. Command Center, I thought, actually may get focused down now that there's only 1 tank remaining. It is going to get focused down. Now, if you're TerrOr, what do?
He's already killed the Command Center, force a cancel, or a kill. Oh my God, the sickest mind drag.
It was no cancel. It was actually just full loss there, but he did trade his goons for that, so that's a big loss. Now, TerrOr may be feeling good that he eliminated the entire army and go for a counterattack, but this time, the fact that OyA has skimped on Arbiter, skimped on Templar Archive is actually going to be beneficial for him because he just needs to get speed zealots.
Yeah, he just needs zealot. Now, let's see if he's trying to goad him into the mine with a Marine. The reinforcements are on the way. Oh, it tanks it into the Dragoon. Trying to rebuild that natural. I mean, it feels like now is just not the time. OyA pushing out to do it again.
Yeah, TerrOr is setting up to take his 3rd base now. It's on location at mineral only, but he is down 40 supply. OyA already has his 4th base up with a probe transfer going down there. He's going to be able to saturate it very easily. We saw the Stargate and Templar Archive done. So Arbiters are on the menu.
Try to push up this high ground. Oh my God.
Just crazy.
The value on that. Look, there's a deep tank line, like 5 tanks deep. What's the plan here? Is turn around, so at least one right decision there from OyA. But still, this is going to be a relatively easy 3rd base for TerrOr that OyA can't do anything about.
Yeah, OyA can't do anything about it right now, but he's up 50 supply. He don't have to do nothing. He can just take his side of the map, get Arbiters up. He's got so many gates now, and this is why it's hard for Terran to make timings work. It's 7-8 gate, and he's still down 50 supply despite having 6 factories. Like, sure, he got his tank count reset, but still, he should. It looks like OyA just wants to end this game. Zealot streaming in. There's really no Sim City. I mean, it's a depot. It looks like this may have been a bit of an overextension. Only getting 1 tank for a lot of goons and zealots there.
I mean, the zealots actually do pay off a little bit more for the tanks in the back. And he picks off another one. I mean, I think he's just trying to continually reset the tank count, knowing that maybe he can out macro him. He does have 4, maybe 5 Nexi on the other side of the map. Is he gonna double expand? Oh my God, the double expo again.
Well, if he loses one, he's still got the other one. He's got complete control of the game right now. He might as well take these bases. He's got Arbiter Tribunal done now. Arbiter should be started at least, +1 weapon still for TerrOr because he was going for a timing. So everything got thrown off when that Bulldog came in. And OyA is just going to keep the pressure up. He's going to try and just keep running it down TerrOr's throat. He knows he's dwindled down the tank count considerably. It's 3.
I mean, sometimes that's all you need, Nyokin, you know? I love that he's continuing to trade here because it allows him to expo from behind. I feel like he's using Dragoons like Zealots, trying to dive on the tanks in the back, picking up, dropping the Zealots back there. He needs to target down that tank, and he is. The tank in the back line, there's 2 of them, but one will go down to the Zealots. The repair coming through, but not in time to save it. And even though there's an attempted run by on the backhand side, it's not going to be enough. And I mean, TerrOr, he is just trying desperately to get the tanks he needs to keep this base alive.
He's trying to out multitask OyA here, going for a drop at bottom right. The problem is OyA doesn't care. He's just building so many units and just constantly attacking TerrOr, and TerrOr can never get critical mass up. It looks like he doesn't have enough add-ons because he's floating a lot of gas here. He doesn't have vessels. He doesn't have +2 weapon out just yet. Arbiters have now started.
Man, if OyA can do this while double expanding to 6 bases, I mean, just imagine what's coming. A nice kind of cheeky drop, like you were saying, coming out to maybe take out the 6 o'clock base, but if this base gets taken out, the one at 12 just comes up for free.
Yeah, 12 still exists. So it's not a huge loss to lose it. And he can even clear it pretty easily. Now, he may actually lose it because it looks like OyA's got other ideas.
That's a little bit of vengeance for him having actually killed the command center earlier, right? He's actually coming down to try to save it. It's dead?
I think he's going to save it.
It's pretty dead. Yeah, there's mines in the way, so.
Yeah, but these are zealots.
I mean,
looks like the
tank's gonna kill it.
Tank is too strong. Takes it down on the last shot. But almost manages to save it. He's still up 50 supply, though. He's got like 10 gates now. Wraith goes down. Now the Q's lost, of course. But
he killed the dropship, Wraith, everything in it for a command center when he really was only going to use one of those CCs. Or one of those Nexi. I don't know. At least for OyA, it still feels like he's solidly in the driver's seat. 40 supply advantage. Not 80 like we saw in game number 1 that he won, but still pretty in charge. Vulture's trying to run by, and I guess they technically will find this bottom right-hand base, but there's cannons up, and the most annoying thing they can do is just lane mines.
Yeah, Arbiter already out, and that's bad news bears for TerrOr because he doesn't have a consolidated army yet. He's still spending a lot of money building up his factory count. The 7th one has just completed, and now recall's on the menu, and match point is one of those maps where you have to actually build like 8 million turrets to prevent recall. So if you're building a lot of turrets, that means your army's super small. That means OyA can take bottom middle again. If you build up your army, that means you're exposed to recall. So and then TerrOr also only has 3 bases. He's about to mine out at his main and natural, so he really doesn't have the econ to do both of those. So he's in super big trouble right now. But knowing OyA, he doesn't probably think about any of that. He's like, I'm about to max. I got Arbiter, I got Stasis. I'm expecting him to barrel down on this 3rd any moment now.
Yeah, he's gonna catch a few of those harassing vultures in the middle of the map. But the big army is bearing down on this 3rd base, and the tank line is so deep for this base. I don't know if you just bulldog on top of that. He still has a huge minefield to clear. He can't even really catch these vultures in the middle of the map. Now, they don't really have mines, so they're not incredibly useful, but they are still really kind of running OyA around in circles.
Well, OyA taking top left, and if this base doesn't get taken out quickly, this is lights out for TerrOr because this is the only base he could really easily take. And any amount of resources taken from that position are just resources that he can never get back. So OyA, he just should just sit on this high ground, just delay the game as long as possible. Even if all he does is sit there and cast stasis and doesn't even attack, it just prevents him from taking top left that little bit.
I mean, I guess we're maxed out, so this means that it's impossible for me to tell if OyA is glitching the replay. These minerals just keep going up. I'm intensely watching this. Nice zealot, tanks like 8 mines, runs into the natural, trying for a mine drag.
Yeah, but it looks like he's sacking zealots for just arbiters now.
Yeah.
He just wants to get more stasis out. Arbiter has energy for recall now. Now, this would be questionable. Why are we sending this many zealots now? Like, you got to be doing, oh, he didn't even sack them to build arbiters or carriers. I'm a bit surprised now.
I mean, he does have 2 arbiters, and they do have energy.
Oh,
he does have, yeah, here we go. We are going for it.
Oh my God.
How good are these stasis going to be in the back? He gets one off on so many tanks back there. The zealots are trying to run back in there, and they do penetrate deep in to that tank line, dropped off by the shuttle in the back as well. The Dragoons are actually getting a little bit hung up there, targeting down like the scanner in the bag. That's not what you want to be firing at. In the end, a decent stasis, but just not enough zealots.
He just threw his whole army into an entrenched Terran army that had a Sim City. This is literally the only way that OyA could let TerrOr get back into the game. Like I said, look at the bottom side of TerrOr's base. There's no turrets there. Recall would have been amazing. What, 1 turret? That doesn't stop a recall. A recall actually would have been amazing. So now, actually, TerrOr has a huge tank gun. If he can secure the high ground, he can take top left. So actually, a big blunder there from OyA to just throw his whole army like that.
Now he is trying to remax. He was maxed, and he is trying to now remax on carriers back behind all of this. But it's only, I think, 2 starport or stargates, so it's not actually going to reach that critical like 6 carrier mass. But leave it to OyA. You know, it's the 18th all in that kills you.
Yeah, but OyA's down 25 supply now.
Yeah.
He's not up 25 supply. And even if those are carriers building at top right, Cybernetics core isn't spinning. Carriers with no upgrades versus 3-2 Terran they just tickle the Terran units. They don't even actually deal damage unless there's like 20 of them.
Yeah, you can just tank it until you have a ton of Goliaths out, and you'll be okay. So, I mean, maybe these are the contingency plan, but you have to hang on.
How do we stop this army? I think OyA just threw. He doesn't have any AoE now. There's no Storm. There's no Arbiter. There's no Carriers. We have Gateway Man flooding in a line uphill into tanks that are sieged up.
Yeah, and Terra's on +3 now. So, I mean, good luck. I think this is sort of the final hurrah here from OyA. Even he recognizes he can't fight TerrOr head up.
And TerrOr took bottom middle. So he actually has a 4th base up and running. Once we get high ground here, that's goodbye mineral only. It's already goodbye because it's mined out. Bottom right is goodbye. Top middle is going to be the only base mining for OyA. Sure, he has top left, but he hasn't transferred probes up there. So that's basically a non-mining. He can't even fight this. This is just a dead Protoss army.
Yeah, he's going to head for the
hills.
That Arbiter does not have stasis, like you said. He is going to try. That's such a huge concave of tanks. Single-digit zealot numbers, just so anemic. They're going to go down instantly. Nothing but blue goo on the floor, and that's it. GGGL. OyA taps out, and we have our second 3-1 victory of the night, sending TerrOr from Peru into the round of 4 BSL Season 9.
Yeah, so TerrOr looking really good today. 2-1 attack on Escalade, and what was the last map? I can't
La Mancha.
La Mancha. That timing looked really unstoppable. OyA had no real plan to actually deal with it. But this last game, OyA was actually in a pretty good position. And even though OyA falls 3-1 here, for sure it could have gone 3-2 either way because he had everything going for him. We literally just tossed our army into the mineral only. There was like 20 tanks sieged up there.
Yeah, definitely not the maybe strongest chance of victory in that particular engagement. That's my way of shilling for that. In the end, I mean, he might have felt a little bit desperate there. I feel like it's strange to both be going for carriers behind that and make that attack. Like imagine if you have all of those resources into not being 25 supply down, maybe it actually works out. I don't know. But for TerrOr, I think the really significant thing is to be able to see kind of philosophically what your opponent's throwing at you and be able to take it out in the face of maybe your preconceived notions saying, well, TerrOr or OyA is going to, 2-gate me or do some, stupid proxy or whatever, which actually never happened.
Yeah, OyA, his image is he's super aggro, but he was not aggro at all other than trying to bust the bunker and the tank behind it. That was it, really. So, I mean, he played very well. I was watching chat and, Scan pointed out that OyA's playing actually pretty well. So even though he falls here on a bit of a blunder, next season, I'm sure he'll come back stronger than ever. He pointed out last time that I think he won Ghost League or came from Ghost League, and to go from Ghost League straight to top 8. Yeah. I mean, that's a big jump. There's a lot of players that came from Ghost League this season and just got instantly eliminated in the round of 24. So that's very impressive.
Yeah, I would say it seems like, Ghost League players may struggle as soon as they promote to Pro League, but then give it a year, a season rather, and actually anything can happen. So I think for OyA, you have to be really happy with your placement here. And don't forget, because of the $2,000 prize pool for BSL Season 9, placing top 8 actually gets you, I think it's $50. $50. So he's in the money. Congratulations to OyA and to all of our top 8 players who unfortunately will not go on. I think we had Crossy, it was Mad, TT1, OyA, and DeWalt.
Yes, DeWalt.
Yeah. Okay. So those are your top 8 players. Your top 4 players are, as shown on screen, Gorinich versus Boneth coming up, and then TerrOr versus True Touch.
Yeah. So Gorinich versus Boneth, a rematch of last season's finals. Just crazy that we're going to have this in the round of 4. One of them is going to be gone. Maybe it can be Gorinich actually busting through. I think Gorinich played very well versus Boneth last season. It was not a blowout for sure. He played much better than I was expecting. And then we have TerrOr versus True Touch. So a lot of players here think like, oh, well, True Touch, he's going to make it for sure, probably. But I'm thinking back to previous BSL. I think we had TerrOr versus True Touch before, and TerrOr started out 2-0. And then True Touch brought it back.
Yeah, it was very, very clutch. And if you didn't see that game or the potential setup for that the rematch, Gorinich versus Boneth, there's just so much history in BSL. We've seen, I think, all four of these players in the top four before, even sometimes playing against each other. And this is where things really start to kind of reach critical mass, because this is coming to the end of season 9 of BSL, and we've got season 10 coming up soon, which is really just sort of taking all the 10 seasons of BSL, cramming them into one, and just building on that history. So it only gets more epic from here, and I just can't wait to watch the top four. I mean, I would do it now so that we can cast until you have time to get to the subway, but unfortunately we can't cram all of that right in. But we do want to remind you of the date for the next broadcast. It is going to be on the 31st, which is in 1 week and 1 day. So if you thought that today's games were maybe a little bit fast, don't worry, we're giving you an extra day to prepare for all this goodness. And then on the 7th of June, will be the finals of BSL Pro League.
Yep, and then we're done. And then we will have BSL 10 shortly after, I think, right? And then that's going to be super epic, because we're going to have already a few players qualified, such as Boneth and True Touch and Eon Zerg. They've already made it in through the point system, but people are still going to be able to get into it, qualifying through ladder, but there's not going to be nearly as many spots. So you're going to have to run your MMR up very high, because this season we've seen a lot of people in the 2,400 range, 2,500 range even. So it's going to be very difficult to get in through ladder next season.
Yeah, if you're procrastinating, if you're going to do your homework the night before the test, I don't know if you're getting that A, but it's going to be epic nonetheless. Whoever does make it into season 10, good luck. And we're going to find out we're going to find out which players those will be in the coming days. Right now, we have an interview with our top 4 player, TerrOr. We've got him ready to go so that we can hear what his thoughts were from that last game, that last series. So I'm actually pretty excited. I know you got a lot of TVP questions for TerrOr, like how do you ever beat Protoss? But we've got a lot to look forward to. So I think we have TerrOr on the line. TerrOr, can you hear us?
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, I can hear you very well.
Okay, well, first of all, congratulations on advancing on to the top 4. I know last season you only made it to the round of 16 before being eliminated. Did that motivate you to try even harder for the season 9?
Yeah, last season was very disappointing for me, because I thought that I had a very good momentum, but didn't make it past round of 16, as you said. I was expecting to get farther. This season was like my redemption. My viewers on stream have been watching me stream almost every day training, so I was really prepared for this match.
Now, you've been training super hard to have a good result here. What did you think going into your match against OyA? Did you feel very confident, or were you unsure?
I was expecting OyA to open like he did, like Silot first. So I prepared with the bunker opening, that basically you can deny the Silot the damage early game, so you can go into the mid game without any losses. So that's what I prepared. The 2 base 2-1 push, that was my main build to use it in this series.
Yeah, it looked like you figured out OyA in game 2 and game 3 that the pushing with 2-1 was really working out for you. Now, your next round opponent is going to be True Touch, who you played in a previous BSL. And remember that you started up 2-0. So what are your thoughts going into that series? Are you going to get redemption here and actually eliminate him in the round of 4?
Yeah, I remember that I was up 2-0 and then lost 3 games in a row after going A-Racks every single game. Yeah, that was a very disappointing series, to be honest. It was just after Corrupted Cup, so I think that was my peak at that time. I was very strong. That was also a disappointing loss, because I felt like that semi-final slipped from my hands. So for the semi-final, I will prepare. Obviously, TrueTouch is very strong right now, so I will see. I hope Ion Surf that is watching on stream help me with the builds.
Lots of players getting a lot of help. I know we had like Bonnet training with TrueTouch earlier, and now we've got to see who can come out on top. Yeah, I was saying, like, where do you find third players to train with if TrueTouch is also playing his upper round matchup? But we've got a lot of fans watching from around the world, but a lot of fans also watching from Peru. So if you have any final words for your fans in English or Spanish or whatever you feel like, what do you have to say?
Okay, I guess I would say both, if you allow me. Okay, first in English, because since a couple of months ago, I have received a lot of support on stream, like a lot of donations, stops, everything. I'm really thankful to all these guys on stream that cheer for me. They say, okay, we'll root for you on Saturday. Just do your best, and we will there. So I'm really thankful to all the guys. So I just want to say that I will do my best in semifinals. So, and now for my Spanish fans, if there are any. Bueno, solamente agradecerles si están viendo y daré lo mejor de mí en las semifinales. Nada más es todo. Espero que me den sus energías. Gracias. That's it.
All right. Well, congratulations to TerrOr. It's going to be really exciting to watch you play in the round of 4. Good luck preparing for your matches in the semifinals.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Bye.
All right. Really love that we're getting a chance to do these interviews and hear from some of our pro players and kind of know that he actually totally had planned this 2-1 push as a way to counter OyA. Probably some pretty good research going in there.
Yeah, and he has different research than me, because I thought for sure that OyA was going to be super aggro, but It seems like he has changed his style over the past few months, and TerrOr had a good read. Everything worked very well, except for the last game. Actually, OyA had a big advantage, but other than that, everything was going very well. So finally, he breaks his his round of 8 curse. He's going to make it into the semifinals.
Yeah,
but and his reward, TrueTouch. What a reward!
Wow. So happy that you could join us here in the round of 4. The round of 4 is looking basically more epic than ever. Let's just talk about the matchups. So we've got TerrOr versus TrueTouch. TerrOr obviously looks great, but are you motivated to get revenge against TrueTouch for reverse sweeping you, or does that stay with you? For me, I'm just thinking oh my God, you can't shake the demons of 8-raxing over and over again and running into a brick wall. Ugh, that just feels bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, the way he said it, where he kind of just threw going 8 racks 3 times in a row, it feels like if you think like that, he's feeling pretty confident. As long as he doesn't do that, he's got a good chance. But then what's his reward? He's going to play Gorinich or Bonnet. So it's going to be super hard if he ends up making it into the finals. Yeah. Then we've got Gorinich versus Bonnet. Like I said, Gorinich looked much better than I thought he was last season. So Gorinich, even though, of course, everybody's going to be favoring Bonnet here, it's going to be a good matchup, I think, or a good series here. Gorinich, maybe he can take it 3-2. I don't think it would be a 3-0 or a 3-1.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, did Gorinich even start up in the series? I feel like
he did.
He won
his first game on Neo Sylphid and then lost 2, then came back. And it's actually super rare that you see players not only start up in an underdog matchup, but then continue to be able to take games in the series. I love that finals. It's still, I think, maybe top 1, top 2 finals for BSL. Crazy. And the fact that they get a chance to play the rematch just 1 season later shows you not only that Gorinich, who had his strongest placement ever in BSL last season, has done it again, and to see if Bonnet can do what his fellow compatriot TrueTouch has done twice, and that is win 2 BSLs in a row. That is it's going to be a really fun kind of historical tidbit to watch. Or I guess if what if True Touch wins this and then wins the finals, that would be his 5th BSL championship.
Yes, his 4th or 5th.
Oh,
it's just crazy how many
hurts
this guy
to think
wins.
about. Oh my God. Well, there's $2,000 on the line, and wouldn't be possible without a lot of help from our sponsors. So big thanks to Blizzard, Esport Fund, and Liquipedia for helping make the prize pool for BSL Season 9 so big. And of course, for Season 10, it's even bigger. But of course, also a big thanks to everybody else who comes out and helps BSL, mostly our Patreons. And if you guys want us to read your names up here, then you can do what a lot of our brand new Patreons have done, and that is sub at $20 or more, and we will give you a shout out. Like Star Lover, Striker, our newcomers, Andrei Strelkovsky, if I didn't totally ruin that, TJ Suited, Camcheck, Moontang Spacewalk, Kingdom Pup, LML, and everybody else out there. Big thanks to all of our BSL Patreons who went to patreon.com/bombastic and helped us keep BSL great over and over again.
Yeah, helping me get a chair.
Oh, that's
Eventually,
right.
I still haven't gotten it in the mail yet, but I'm sure it's coming sometime
That's
soon.
going to be a big box. I don't know if we're allowed to mail chairs yet, but actually, I mean, you have a pretty decent chair.
Do I? I mean, you came to my apartment the other day. I didn't even have any chairs. So, I had my computer chair.
Yeah. Close enough. If you want to put Nyokin wheels his computer chair from his apartment on the subway, wheels it up my gigantic mountain to my house.
Yeah, crazy.
Oh, I'd love to see it happen. But yeah, you can donate for Nyokin's subway trip home. You can donate for Nyokin to buy a new chair. Well, I guess I would buy it. Then I'd have lonely Nyokin chair. I can get a cardboard cutout, just like sit it there. I don't know. All sorts of incentives for you to support BSL on Patreon. You can also subscribe. We had a bunch of subscribers for today, or as long as you watch or tell your friends about it, we really appreciate you guys coming out and tuning in so much for BSL. Big thanks to everybody behind the scenes, whether it's Zero running the production or everyone involved in the BSL crew. You can hit !crew in chat to find out who and how awesome all of those wonderful people are. We couldn't do it without any of you. So big thanks. Any final words, Nyokin?
No, I'm excited for these finals because of, the potential rematch of, rematch of the finals last season.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the dream finals that everybody wants.
Yeah.
And then we have an unexpected finals potentially if TerrOr actually makes it out. And that would be crazy because I think we've seen like PVZ finals in BSL like quite often, right? Like usually it's always a Protoss or a Zerg. It'd be the first time we see another Terran make it through to the finals in a long time.
I'm trying to think, has a Terran ever won BSL?
It was like Dandy and Koget that we by default had a Terran that time. But other than that, it's been a while since we've had a Terran in the finals. Like, look at this. It's Zerg Protoss, just Zerg and Protoss. The Terrans don't exist.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got Koget sometimes, TerrOr sometimes. That one magical Dandy finals, but let's just say they're an endangered species. So, I'm waiting with bated breath for Bob Malcolm's new TerrOr hype video. Can't wait. But we are going to have to wait for one more week and one more day. We'll see you back here on the 31st for the exciting conclusion of the round of 4 to find out which players will be advancing on to the grand finals of BSL9. We hope to see you then. Thank you so much for watching on behalf of myself, Nyokin, Zero, and everybody at BSL. Good luck, and we'll see you next week.